Hello, dear friends. My name is Catherine Beaumont. I'm so glad you're here. Today I want to share a story with you, not just any story, but one of survival, sacrifice, and the power of kindness. I believe it will touch your heart, just as it touched mine. And perhaps, in listening, you'll find strength for your own journey, or be reminded of the incredible difference one person's compassion can make. My name is Isabelle Turner. I'm 38 years old, and I'm the mother of 3 radiant little girls, Emma, Chloe, and Grace. They are the light of my life. Everything I do, every breath I take, is for them. Life, however, hasn't been kind. I lost my mother when I was a child. Years later, the man I married, the father of my children, walked out on us when Grace was still in nappies. No goodbye, no calls, not a single penny. He vanished, as if we'd never existed. Since that day, it's been just me and my girls. We live in a modest flat in Manchester. It's nothing fancy, but it's our little nest. I've no relatives to lean on, no posh degree on the wall, no golden job. I make ends meet driving a hired minicab. Each month, I rent the vehicle. Each month, I hand over more than I can afford. And still, I drive. Morning till night, through rain, through illness, through tears. Some passengers are kind, some are cruel. A few try to run off without paying. But I keep going because stopping isn't an option. My girls need food, they need shoes, they need warmth. And above all, they need me. I remember one bitter January evening. The wind howled, the rain lashed down like knives. The roads were like glass. Emma rode up front beside me. Chloe and little Grace were huddled in the back. "Mummy, I'm cold," Grace whispered. She was only 5. I turned on the heater, but the chill lingered. The streets were eerily empty. I gripped the steering wheel, knuckles white, heart pounding. Then, out of nowhere bright headlights, a sickening crash, and then nothing. I woke to the sterile scent of antiseptic and the beep of hospital machines. My head throbbed, my limbs were lead. I panicked. Where were my girls? I tried to call their names, but my voice was sand. A nurse appeared, her voice like silk. "Don't move, love. You've been in a serious accident." "My daughters," I croaked. "Are they?" "They're safe," she said gently. "They're right here." Moments later, 3 little angels flew through the door. They wrapped their arms around me, sobbing and smiling all at once. I held them as if I'd never let go again. Then came the bad news. A broken leg, surgery, weeks of recovery. Worse still, the car I'd rented, totaled, and I had crashed into a luxury vehicle. The owner wanted £16,000 in damages. I had nothing. I was shattered, completely and utterly lost. But then, the extraordinary happened. My story somehow spread online. Photos of me and my daughters began to circulate. People read about us. And strangers, absolute strangers, sent messages of love and donations. Help arrived from places I'd never imagined. And then, a phone call. "I heard your story," a man's voice said. "I'd like to help." I was hesitant. "Who are you?" "You'll see," he replied. 2 days later, he arrived with a team of kind souls. They brought my girls warm clothes, flowers for my bedside. He was young, with a face full of compassion. "You don't know me," he said, "but I know enough to care. Weeks passed. He and his team paid my hospital bills. I wept. I thanked them over and over, but they weren't finished. One crisp spring morning, they took us to a quiet street in the countryside. Before us stood a home, a real home. "It's yours," they said. "Mine?" I nearly fainted. No rent, no debt, just peace. My daughters danced through the empty rooms. I fell to my knees and cried. That day, I whispered to them, "We have a home." A few weeks later, that kind man asked me what I dreamed of. I laughed through my tears. A little shop, a market perhaps, with fresh bread and flowers. He smiled. "Let's make it happen." And he did. Today, I run my very own village shopper cozy corner, filled with warmth, laughter, and good food. I'm not the desperate woman behind a steering wheel anymore. I'm a businesswoman, a provider, a woman who was saved by kindness. This story, my dear viewer, is not just about hardship, it's about hope. It's a reminder that even when life takes everything from you, there is always room for a miracle. And sometimes those miracles come in the form of a stranger's kindness. If you're struggling today, please hold on. You never know who's watching, who might care, who might reach out. And if you're in a position to help someone, don't hesitate. You might just change their life. Thank you so much for listening. If this story moved you, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. More heartfelt stories are on the way. Until then, take care of yourself and always, always believe in the goodness of people. With love, Catherine